Hello viewers, hello students, welcome to this second edition of this your practical classes. This time we have taken up an item which is very common. The world is all crazy all over, and then you can see on the whiteboard, that's the chocolate lava, the chocolava cake. Now the chocolava cake is also sometimes called the molten lava chocolate cake. Whether in the Europe or whether be it in the Americas, both are equally I mean their buyers are very much crazy about this chocolava cake, and today we are going to try, and we have only 6 ingredients we have out here. That is the butter and the dark chocolate and egg yolk as well. We have the sugar and the flour also. So for the sugar we have the grain sugar, and then if you can see out here, it is just slightly powdered out here. Okay, we put in the mixie, and that we just powder it, or else we can have some castor sugar also. The butter and the chocolate that has been in the double boiler lying for some time. It's in here. I have the ready the quantity of butter and the chocolate which is ready out here, and is almost in a glass bowl, and you can see that. Okay, it has melted nicely and it's ready to be used. The egg and the egg yolks, that has been already done, and it's in here. 3 numbers of egg and the 3 numbers of egg yolk. The white portion, that can be kept. Somebody can ask what to do with this egg white. So now egg white is something where we have to it is so much used in the Western confectionery. That means it can be used for macaroons, for meringue based dishes. So a lot of use, and we can store it also. We just have to put it in a bucket or put it in a bowl and keep collecting it, so that whenever it gets you get the time and opportunity to make macaroons, you can make it. Okay, or else just have protein omelette. Okay, that's we have the look at the ingredients. We have the flour, the cake flour or the all purpose flour, which is like the 100 grams. Okay, the flour is the 100 grams. This has been sieved. Every time we use flour in the bakery, that has to be sieved, okay, to take the foreign particles outside and to give some light airiness also. So that is what we are having a look at the ingredients now. And then we have the ramekins. Now these are the ramekins, is like 90 ml ramekins. Okay, and these has to be greased, okay, and greased with butter. Okay, butter and dusted with cocoa powder. So I will show you before once we put this mixture into this planetary mixer. Okay, we will have to find out how to dust these. So first of all, once this moves, okay, we will be dusting this, and once this is done, we will put the oven to the preheating stage. So just a little bit back to the whiteboard, what we have is the butter and the dark chocolate. You can see I have put number 1 out there. That means the butter and the chocolate which is ready out here, that is 170 grams and the 200 grams, and we have the egg and the egg yolk, that is in here. Okay, the sugar, the sugar is the white thing out here, that's the sugar, and then we have the flour out here which has been already sieved. Okay, and then the cocoa powder for dusting. If you can see that, cocoa powder is there for dusting, so we will do a little later. We have some butter out here in the ramekins, and we put the cocoa powder in here. Now the point in putting the cocoa powder and for the dusting means, that means once it is baked, it has to be demolded. Okay, or sometimes it can be given in a scoop. You can give a spoon and you can scoop from the cup, but most of the times what I have seen is, from my experience, you invert it over something, and then you cut it, and then that lava comes out. When a volcano is there, the lava comes out. So that is why it is called the chocolate lava. So once you cut it, you will find that the slightly the chocolate oozing out. It's the basic ingredients are there, and then the thing is, the baking is the main thing. Baking is like, it is not for a very long time. It is for a very pretty short time. So normal for a cake like this, if we take like 18 to 20 minutes, we'll be baking this for around 11 minutes. So that is the bottom line. Like what happens is, you slowly, you underdone, the baking is underdone, so that once you cut it, it flows out. All right, so here we go. We put this in the planetary mixer. We put the sugar and the eggs out here. So we whip this up a little bit and then we will add the sugar slowly. So as I said, once this is whipping, this has to whip up around 30%. It comes up. I can see it out here whether it's rising or not. It is getting whipped, and then I will be dusting this. Yeah, sometimes if we are confident that our hands are clean, our fingers are clean, we can use these fingers, or in the industry also we can use a brush also. But I find it, sometimes hand is the best mix of the fingers also, if we think that, we are totally clean, so we can still use it, but I recommend not to use in the industry. So this is how we put the cocoa powder into the butter, alright, and invert it, and like a shaker, cocktail shaker, we shake a little bit. Alright, so here we go. We shake off all the excess. So we have around 2, 4, 6, 8. We have around 10 molds ready out here, and this is the time we will put the sugar slowly. So while this is moving, we need to find out. We will just say like how we are making this product. So first of all, we have this butter and the dark chocolate, which is melted out here. All right. So thank God it's not yet winter, or else it would have solidified. It would have, jam jata tha. So we have the butter and the sugar. The butter and the chocolate out here. So once this egg and the sugar whips up, we'll have to put some more sugar in it because I have a little balance. I prefer to put the sugar in batches. So this is easy for the mixture to climb, to rise, or else the sugar keeps the aeration down. So I prefer to put the eggs in batches. All right. So once we are onto this, what happens is we will fold this mixture of chocolate and butter, and once that is done, we will fold in this flour. So basically all the ingredients are almost done, and then when the batter is ready, we will be putting it in these ramekins. Okay, we can put in a muffin pans also, the aluminum ones. Okay, now the aluminum ones it can be used. It is, if this takes around 10 to 11 minutes, the aluminum ones, okay, it depends on the quantity also, but I am talking about a medium size which can hold around 100 grams of the batter. That will be a little quicker. Okay, ramekins, they are not much as compared to the aluminum, they are not very good conductors of heat. Okay, so aluminum is a good conductor of heat. So if this takes 10 minutes, the other thing will be the ramekins will be taking a little longer. So coming back to the oven also, we need to understand about the oven things also. If I am doing this in 10 or 11 minutes, it is not necessary that you will be doing at your place also the same time. All the ovens are different, all the equipments are different. We have to understand them, how they have been working. So we need to whip this up, the egg and the sugar, which will take a few minutes, maybe around 4 minutes or something, and then once it is ready, we will be putting in this liquid also and then folding in the flour, and then our batter is ready. So we have butter 170 grams, dark chocolate 200 grams, egg 3 numbers and egg yolk 3 numbers also. We might ask, like, why we are putting yolk. Okay, so yolk is a good binding. Egg white is for aeration. We don't need this much for aeration. We need for the binding. Okay, so that is why the egg yolk is there. All right, and the sugar is the castor sugar or the refined sugar, but then I have powdered it so that you get a quick mixture about the foaming is faster. And as we discussed in the last class, the melting of the chocolates, I did it on a double boiler. That was some hot water out here, and I just put this in here. Okay, so the butter and the sugar, it melts slowly. And this chocolate lava cake, it's like a worldwide craze. Whether we go to the Europe or the Americas, people are liking it all over. And pretty much for the youth also, the young students also, they also love this. But yes, one thing is like, there's so much of fat into it, right? So it is not good for the diabetic and the heart patients and all. Okay, now this chocolate lava, this can be made with the white chocolate also as an alternative. Okay, you can make with the white chocolate also, but then that time you cannot put the cocoa powder. We don't put, usually during the sponge making process, we dust the cake pans with flour, but here it is cocoa powder, because cocoa powder, if you put flour inside and there's a white black color mixture, once you demold it, you will find some white spots. So that is the point, like, we are not putting flour into it. So if you are not having the ramekins, of course we can use it in the aluminum molds, and even if aluminum molds are not there, these days we have something which is like aluminum foil. The aluminum foil cups, that is also acceptable, and that is also sometimes being used. All right. The foam is ready out here. The beaten up sugar and it's like a ribbon stage. Yes, it's like a ribbon stage. And at this point of time, I prefer to put the temperature of the oven on, like a preheat. All right, I prefer to put the So bakery is something where we need to preheat the oven, and your oven are always different from the other. All right, this one would be enough. All right, here we go. So once we are preheating the oven, we will make the batter, and by the time the batter is poured into the ramekins, I hope the oven would be ready, and then we will be baking it for around 10 to 11 minutes at 210 degrees centigrade. So we have the foam out here, nice foam. I don't see the sugar also. All right. So with this spatula, yeah. All right. So the liquids are getting in first. Well, here we go. So it's getting darker, and then we can slowly put in the flour also, and voila, our batter is almost getting ready. We fold in. We don't want to agitate too much so that the foam can be also getting flat. So we need a little bit of leavening so that the product comes a little airy and fluffy. So it's homogeneously mixed. If the camera person can show, yeah, out here, yes. Now it's the time to put the batters. All right. Okay. These things are done. All right. So we poured the batter into the ramekins. We don't need to completely fill it up. Around 70 to 75%, 80% of the bowl of the ramekin can be filled up, because it needs some space also to rise, because during the baking time there will be an oven jump. So if we completely fill up the molds, it's going to overflow and then fall at the base of the oven, where we need to clean it up later on, and then there will be a burning also. And of course, wastage of the batter also. So to reduce all these, we have to forecast of what is going to happen. So with this one recipe, we are having around 9 ramekins, and these ramekins are around 90 ml to 100 ml. So by this time the oven should be ready. We have a few droppings out here on the table, which is bound to happen if we are working. It's very obvious that small droppings would be there, but we instantly clean it up. Okay, you can tap it a little bit so that if any air bubbles are there, that can flatten out. So at times what happens is, like in commercial places, the batter is filled into the bowls and it is kept in the deep freezer also. So what we see is, like the batter is made ready and then they keep it in the deep freezer. Once the order comes in, because this is something which is like a hot dessert, and we want to consuming it with a hot, and then the molten lava should be there. So what happens is, when the order comes in, they take it out from the freezer and bake it whatever time they have, whatever the time is required, and then they will be serving it to the guests. Alright, so we have around 9 ramekins out here. Okay, time to check the oven. So it's like 210 degrees centigrade, it's pretty hot, and then we will be putting it inside the oven. Okay, so we will put this inside the oven. Here we go, it's a hot oven. Take this out, put this in. So the temperature is like 210 degrees centigrade, and then both the filaments, the heating filaments are on, and it's like 10 to 11 minutes. So हम यहाँ रुकते हैं. So after 10 minutes we will be seeing of how to take this out. See you on the. So students, we are back to take the Chocolava cakes from out from the oven. So it's around 11 minutes up. So we put this off, switch off, and then we take this out. Alright, we need to be a little careful because it's a flat tray and ramekins can slip out. Here we are in front of the camera. You can see slight bulges, pretty, looks good. So at this point of time we need to give a little rest so that there is a carryover cooking. So what happens in this cake is the center will not be baked, it will still be gooey. That is why when we cut that cake, that lava comes in. So the trick is like, we have to bake it less on a high temperature. So we need to wait for some time. So have some little bit of the heating to carry on, and then we focus back to of what we did. We are about to finish the class. We just need to show like of what we are doing. So the butter and the dark chocolate we had put in together in one bowl. That was the first step, 1 and 1. And the second step, what we did was the egg and the egg yolk, we whisked it up with the sugar. Okay, so there was a certain method which I did. I did not put the egg and the sugar all in one go. When the egg was about to rise, maybe around 35-40% risen, and then we put the sugar slowly in small batches. And then once this was whipped up, we put this solution, we put this liquid mixture into here, and then we fold in the flour. Okay, so we will have, that was reflect back of what we were doing in the class. So we have around, we'll take 1 or 2 of these and we will try to find out whether we are getting this lava or not. Most importantly, we have to take a very good chocolate, the quality of the chocolate has to be very good. And don't worry, even if we don't get the lava, we can still be enjoying, because fudge cake, we can call it a fudge cake, and then we can join these. All right, here we go. So we have these ramekins inverted position, and then also I prefer to let it be in this position for around 1.5 2 minutes, and then it will be easy for, hopefully it will be easy. Or else what we can do is we shouldn't be doing this, but yes, at times it is required. Like, you put a knife over the edge of the rim. So let's see which one is like easier, the one without or. So hope you can see this. All right. We need to scrape it a little bit. Wow, here we go. Now it comes up. So it's better if we put a knife. At times it happens. Okay, if you can already see, you see I haven't cut it, but then the lava is already there. So let me see if I can cut it. So here we go. Bravo. So once students see many blogs, many videos, you will see the people are putting chocolates into it. That is not the recipe which I have followed. Okay, you can see it is just the lava is flowing out, and then that is it's a very simple thing that that it is it is unbaked position, but then at the same time we have raw eggs out here. The internal temperature has crossed the danger limit zone. I'm sure this is something like maybe 75 degrees centigrade, and danger zone is up to 62 or 64, right? So that centigrade has passed, and we are safe that we can still have this cake. So we can have a little bit of plating also, which we can do it, and then you can have some ganache or some whipped topping, or maybe some berries of any type of whatever is available, and then you can serve the guests. So here we have around the molten lava, you can clearly see the lava is coming out. Just to have a recap of the fine points once again, what we have to understand is like the ramekins, it has to be very nicely greased. 10 to 11 minutes of baking, but then it will differ from oven to oven. Okay, and if these were aluminum molds, it could have been done a little shorter time, because aluminum molds, they will have a very good conductor of heat, so they will be baked very easily. So here I am with your second class. If you have your questions, please put it in the comment section, and thank you very much for joining, and hope we had a nice learning session. Thank you, and may God bless India. Cheers.